are live. Is anyone joining this live? No, so far so good. 0 people on the live. Let's just wait and see if anyone else is gonna join. But for now, it's just me, myself, and I. Oh, someone has joined the live. Hello. Hi, who is that? Faustina, hi. Thank you so much for joining. How are you? Hi, Jane. Thank you so much for joining. How are you guys? Thank you so much for joining. So, shall we start then? What do you guys want to talk about? I asked people to ask me questions, and the bulk of the questions was just revolving around how is pregnancy, how is it to be a mom of 2 children, and all of that. And for me, I've already said like a brief pregnancy story on my YouTube channel. I don't know if you guys have gotten the chance to watch that video, but I've said like pretty much the summary of what happened on that. If you guys want to watch it, please do. But like in terms of postpartum period and how the recovery has been going, on Monday I'm going to be 7 weeks postpartum. So we're getting into the groove of things, you know, the sleepless nights, everything is just there. Like I'm so sleep deprived. I don't know if you guys can tell, but like I don't sleep well at all. And that's why I really wanted to do this live, because I know that if I say, oh, let me record a video, I don't know when I'm gonna get the chance to do that. So I just wanted to like record the live. Even with my hair, I haven't got the chance to do it. But one thing I've done is I got my nails done and I've got my lashes done. So I feel kind of cute because I can just throw on a wig on my hair, like do cornrows and throw on a wig on my hair. But like generally speaking, in terms of like time, I haven't got a lot of that. But one thing that I know is that Keaton is absolutely obsessed with her brother. Like she is obsessed with him. I don't know, maybe I'll try to get it on camera so I can show you guys. But like she just when she sleeps and then she comes to my room in the morning, she knocks on the door, mama, mama, mama. And then when I open the door for her, she'll come in and then she'll be all smiley and then baby, baby, baby brother. And then she'll start kissing him, kissing him, kissing him. 1 million times kissing him. Next thing, big hug, big hug, big hug. And then she'll want to hug him. And then after a while, she'll say, if she wants to carry him, she says, Caillou, Caillou. And then she will now be stretching out her hand, Caillou. So she's absolutely obsessed with him, which is weird because when he first came back from the hospital and came home, I don't know, I could have sworn that she was jealous because she always just used to look at him and I feel like she would want to smack him. And she actually did smack him like once or twice, but I don't think she did it like out of a place of any bad place or anything. I think she was just curious and she wanted to see if he could play with her the way she wanted to play with him, but obviously he's too young to play with her like that, so he couldn't. And yeah, she has now adjusted into how he obviously he's a newborn. All he does is sleep for like more than half of the day. If he's not sleeping, then he's awake staring into space for like maybe 10 minutes before he goes back to sleeping or eating. So there's not much he does really. So she's just learned to know that that's how he's going to behave, and he's not always going to be able to interact with her with the way that she wants to interact with him. So yeah, that's how it's been in terms of her adjusting to him. But like for me, I don't know, it just feels like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I have love for Keaton and I have love for Tony. And when I was pregnant, I didn't know, a part of my mind feared that I might not feel very strongly about Tony, and it might take me a long time to feel strongly about him, because I didn't know that I could like love somebody else the way that I was in love with Keaton, basically. But now I just find myself always staring at him, and he's always staring at me too. He's just always looking, and me too, I'm always looking, and I'm just like, wow, I can't even believe that I have 2 children. Like, it's just wild to me when I think about it. 2 children, that's crazy. Like, I feel like this is teenage pregnancy. I'm a teenager. How do I have 2 children? But yeah, that's how that has been going. I'm on maternity leave this time around. I qualify for paid maternity leave for some parts. Like, unlike my last pregnancy, I didn't qualify for paid maternity leave, so I was getting maternity allowance, which was just like £610 a month or so. But this time around, I actually do qualify for a bit more. So like 2 months of full pay, that's what I qualify for, and 4 months of half pay. So up to 6 months, I'm gonna get a little something, which is good. And in that period of time, I want to like focus on my content on YouTube, and I really want us to strategize on how we can make the channel better, because that's really what I want to do, and that's the reason why I'm deciding to take the 6 months, or however long it ends up being, depending on how this YouTube channel ends up doing. But basically, I want you guys to tell me, what type of content do you want to see on my channel? Like, apart from vlogs, which you guys told me that you like vlogs, which is why I've been trying to vlog a bit more, because honestly, I feel like my life is boring. I feel like my life is very boring, because I don't do exciting things. Like, I'm not one to go to the club. That's not really my kettle of fish. And I don't like do exciting things like that. Do you understand what I mean? I'm just mostly at home, or I go to work, or I go to church. Not much. So, but like, the response to my vlog seems to be doing well, so I'm really glad for that. But apart from vlogs, because I want to have like, obviously, the lifestyle section of my channel, which is basically the vlogging aspect, but I also want to have, and that would cater towards entertainment for you guys, so providing entertainment for you guys. But I also want something that would cater towards providing some sort of knowledge for you guys, or some sort of help for you guys. So if there's anything that I can do to help you guys, I would really love to know, so that I can work towards creating that type of content as well. So that I have 2 types of content on my page. I personally really like like personal finance type of videos. So like budgeting, investing, saving, tracking your expenses, those type of things. I really like to talk about money. And I really like watching those type of videos. So those are the type of things that I would naturally gravitate to. I also like femininity type of content. So like how to be a bit more feminine, how to be soft, because something that I've learned is that, and I don't know if it's a bad thing, but me personally, I've interpreted it as a bad thing, when people say, Oinko, you're so strong, you're so, I don't want to be strong. I don't want to be strong. I want to be soft, you know. I want to be a damsel in distress. I want to be a Cinderella sometimes. Do you know what I mean? So I have been making a conscious effort to move away from identifying as a strong woman to now identifying as a softer, more feminine person, which is why I also enjoy watching this type of content. So, and it's not just in your appearance, obviously, hence the reason why I got my eyebrows microbladed, my lashes, my nails, all those things. Not just in my appearance, but also like in my behavior as well. So asking for help and not wanting to do everything myself, because you know, as the firstborn, especially in a Nigerian household, it's very, very easy for you to just carry everything on your shoulder, and you're not used to asking for help as much. But I want to be the lady who knows how to ask for help, who knows how to be a damsel in distress. Because one thing I've learned is life is a bit easier, to be honest, when you are not somebody who's always a strong woman, basically. So femininity and like finance type of videos are the things that I personally like. But I was just really wondering what you guys like as well, that I can put on the channel. So I'm open to your suggestions. Please tell me. I'm just gonna go and read everything that you guys have seen so far. But 2 children, I'm so happy for you. Thank you so much, Faustina. I really enjoyed the last vlog, the car one. Oh, thank you so much. Do you know the place where I got the groceries, the African shop where I got the groceries? It's called Ogbonge. In case you're in England and you want to check them out, it's called Ogbonge. Somebody came into my DMs on Instagram to ask if their prices are better than the prices of like going into the shops and all. To be honest, I don't know. And the reason I don't know is because I've never actually gone into like a wholesale shop to do grocery shopping for African things. So I'm not too sure what the price difference would be. And the reason I haven't done that is because I don't have a car. And that's the reason we're considering going car shopping. But at the moment, we have put that plan for car shopping on hold. So we haven't actually bought a car. And I know that I didn't say that in that vlog, but a few things. The reason why we didn't buy the car, the first reason was at the moment, like I mentioned, I'm on maternity leave, so my income is not going to be steady for the next couple of months that I'm on maternity leave. My income is going to be less than what it normally is, and having a car is an added expense, and I don't know, or we don't know, if we can accommodate that added expense yet, especially because Keaton doesn't go to nursery, and we're thinking of her going to nursery at least twice a week so that she can meet other children and interact with other children and socialize, basically, because all she does is stay at home, and when I'm going out she goes out with me, and we basically teach her what we can at home, homeschool her as much as I can. I'm teaching her like colors, numbers, identification of animals and animal sounds, those type of things. That's what we're teaching her. But obviously she also, because somebody also left a comment on my last video saying that she has a good range of vocabulary. So the reason, and I appreciate that she actually does have a good range of, because she's not even 2 yet and she can say quite a few words. But I think the reason why she has that range of vocabulary is because I don't really let her watch cartoons. So what she watches is like educational content on YouTube. So Miss Money, she's Australian. Miss Money, that's somebody that she watches. She also watches Miss Rachel, and the third person that she watches is Blippi. Those are the 3 YouTube channels that she really, really watches, and I feel like she's learning a lot from them as well. So her going to nursery is an added expense for us monthly as well. And if you live in England or if you live in the UK, then you know that childcare is not cheap. So we are thinking of her going to nursery for half day, or how do they say it, half session, is it? Yeah, half session, twice a day, is my brain working? Half session twice a week. That's what we're thinking. The sessions are either from 7:30 to 1 p.m. or from 1 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Those are the sessions. So you can either do a full day, which would be from 7:30 to 6:30 p.m., or you can do half sessions. And we're thinking of her doing 2 half sessions in a week. And the 2 half sessions in a week is going to average out to be about £400 in a month. That's assuming that there's 4 weeks in the month. That's an added expenditure as well. And the third reason why we didn't end up getting the car was because the car finance that we wanted to apply for, because I don't know if you guys saw the prices of the car, but the cars are not cheap. That Mercedes that my husband liked, it was about £23,000 or so. So it's a bit of an expense. And obviously, even if we had £23,000, I don't think it's wise for you to drop £23,000 to buy a car. But you're definitely going to need to drop a deposit, which we would have done. and then the rest of the money could have been financed with either a finance company, like doing, there are different ways to buy a car in England basically. So you can either do PCP, which the whole concept of PCP is that you buy the car. So basically, let's give an example. The car costs £10,000. You pay 10%, for example. So you drop £1,000, and then the balance £9,000, you finance it. Now, financing means that they're gonna, a company is going to borrow you. So like a loan company is gonna borrow you the money. They borrow you the money, and then you get the car. Then you pay them monthly. You return the money monthly. Obviously, there would be interests. If you're buying a used car from a dealership, the interest is usually quite high. It's about 12 to 13% if you're buying a used car from a dealership. But if you're buying a brand new car, the interest can be quite low. The interest can even be zero sometimes. So, I mean, it just depends on what you want to do. If you want to buy a brand new car, if you want to buy a used car, that's up to you. But that's the way it is. And with PCP, the difference is you finance it for a fixed period of time. So like you may say you want to finance it for 3 years, and after you financed it for 3 years, maybe out of the £9,000 you borrowed, what you end up paying in those 3 years is £5,000. So you still have £4,000 that you're owing. Now you can either return the car at the end of the 3 years. You return the car back to the dealership and say, okay, I'm done with this car, I don't want your car anymore, right? Or you pay the balance £4,000. And when I'm talking about, obviously you would have paid interest. So maybe that example is not clear, because maybe the £9,000 that the bank borrowed you plus the interest and everything, maybe it would have now become £14,000 in those 3 years. Maybe this is just a rough example. I'm not giving exact figures, but maybe it will have now become £14,000 in the next 3 years. So with you paying monthly for the next 3 years, you end up paying maybe £9,000, meaning that you're still owing them £5,000. So you can either return the car and say, okay, thank you, I'm done with this car, or you can return the car and exchange it for a new car and continue paying monthly finance on that car. Or you can say, okay, I think I like the car and I want to keep the car, and then you pay the balance £5,000 that you owe them. That's the way PCP works. That's one way to buy the car. Another way to buy the car is by flat out paying cash. So if the car costs £10,000, then you flat out drop the £10,000 and then you move on. That's another way to buy the car. And then the third way to buy the car is hire purchase. So basically, it's kind of similar to PCP, but the difference is that at the end of the hire purchase tenure, you wouldn't have any money left that you're owing because you'd have paid everything off. So with PCP, the monthly payments tend to be a bit smaller because at the end of the day, you will still have like a balloon payment left to pay. But with hire purchase, the monthly payments are bigger. So in that example I gave, maybe the monthly payment for PCP would be £150 a month. Maybe, again, this is just a rough example. Maybe it's £150 a month. And at the end of the duration, you will then have paid £9,000. So you still owe them £5,000. But with hire purchase, the monthly payments can be £350 a month. So that at the end of the 3 years, you don't owe them any money and the car is all yours. So that is the way it can work. And when we tried to apply for the finance to buy the car, they basically denied us the finance because the finance company that we were applying for, they said we hadn't lived in, the finance company that we used to apply for the finance said we hadn't lived in England for long enough. So apparently with them, you need to have lived in England for a minimum of 3 years before you can, either you're a citizen or you've lived in England for a minimum of 3 years with that finance company that we use. I'm aware that there are some people who are able to just move ahead and get finance company with another, but we didn't. Once we did it like that and it didn't work, then we let it go because, again, like I said, there were other things. It was like a more holistic look. It wasn't just because they denied us, because even if they denied us, we could have gone to another company to try to apply. But when we put everything together, we're like, okay, it's probably not the right time anyways. And at the moment, I'm on maternity leave. I'm not going to work. And Tolu works in London. He's not going to be driving into London because driving into London is very expensive. And the reason it's expensive is because Tolu works in central London, which is like the hub of London basically. And driving into central London, you're going to pay congestion charge, which is £25 a day, I believe. And then you're also going to pay for parking, which is about, for him at least for the work day, he'll spend minimum £60 to park the car. So £60 plus £25, that's a solid £85 per day of just because he's going into work, and that's not feasible. So he wasn't going to drive the car to work. If we bought the car, it would have just been for me to drive to work, because even though I work in London, I don't work in central London. So all I would have had to pay for was just parking in my hospital, and parking in my hospital is about 80 something pounds for the month. So that's not too bad. So yeah, that was the reason. We would have just been using the car to basically go grocery shopping, go to church. Nothing really deep that we needed the car for, that we cannot currently use an Uber for at the moment, basically. So that was the reason why we didn't end up purchasing that car. And I know I didn't say that in the vlog, but I mean, you're in the live now and you know the gist basically. So next question is Precious says, that was unexpected, sorry. But yeah, Precious says, hi dear, how are you? I'm good, thank you. That feminine type of video would be nice. Amazing. So we will look forward to making the feminine type of video. Content and personal and family finance would be lovely. The taxman in UK is out to take all your savings. 100%. Like, I was even thinking of making a video on how to prepare for maternity leave, just in case you're in the UK and you're thinking of going on, like, getting pregnant or anything. It really needs to be a decision that you make consciously. You can't just fall pregnant in the UK. You really have to plan that pregnancy, or else you're going to end up in a very sticky situation. So especially if you don't have like the type of support that I have, because honestly, I'm not even going to lie to you, my family, and when I say my family, I mean my mom, my dad, my siblings, and my husband's family, they have been amazing. We have been living in England for 2.5 years, almost 3 years now. And ever since we gave birth to Keaton, somebody from my family or Tolu's family has lived with us, has come to visit us, and stayed with us for extended periods, to the point that we can both work full-time and we don't have to pay for nursery. That's how we've been able to combat that nursery cost, because we have family members who have paused their life or taken a break from their life to come and help us out, so that we are not suffocated. So if you don't have that type of support, then it is extremely important for you to plan your finances before you fall pregnant in the UK. Otherwise, you're going to end up in a very sticky situation. Like at the moment, my sister is around. My mom just came in today because my sister is going to be leaving soon. So it's like a little switchover session. My mom is going to be here for the next couple months, really, so that I don't feel overwhelmed with having 2 children. And even if I decide that I want to go back to work early, my mom is here and I don't have to worry about like childcare costs. Because if you want to put your child in nursery for 5 days a week, full time, obviously, if I'm going to do that, then if I'm going to put my child in nursery, then it has to be full time, because obviously I'm working and my working hours are full time. And Tolu's working hours are also full time. So who is going to be with the child? So if we're going to do that, easily one child is going to be £1,400. And now I've got 2 children. That's 2,000 minimum. That is not expensive. £2,500. That's how much I'll be spending on childcare costs. How much is my salary? I've done a video on my channel about how much I earn as a doctor. If you want to go watch that video, please do. But you guys know how much my salary is as a doctor in England. And then how much is Tolu's salary? How much is this rent that we're paying? Are we not going to pay for food? Are we not going to pay for how are we not going to pay council tax? Are we not going to pay? Do you understand what I mean? We still have all these bills to pay, and then we now have a childcare cost of £2,000. Let's be serious. Let's actually be very serious, especially bearing in mind that when we're immigrants, so we don't qualify for government funding with childcare. Like, your childcare is your problem as an immigrant. You don't have any government funding. So if it's costing you £2,000, too bad. Do you understand what I mean? So that's why I say you have to really, really plan before you fall pregnant in England. You can't just wake up and be pregnant. You can find yourself in a very, very sticky situation. Even if you didn't want to do like nursery, let's say you wanted to get a childminder or you wanted to get a nanny, you are still going to spend upwards of £1,500 for 2 children. That means you're not going to have any savings. You're just going to find yourself always working, and you'll just always be in a tight situation. You're just not going to be happy. Do you understand what I mean? At the moment, because my family members can help us, life is moving at an easier pace. Like, I feel like we're able to exhale, we're able to grow, we're able to not be tight. Because first of all, moving to a new country is a lot on a marriage. It can be a lot on a marriage. Having children can also be a lot on a marriage. And then think about adding finances to that mix and how it can potentially affect your marriage. So, like, having supportive family members and having that village that it takes to raise a child is really, really, really underrated. And that's just something that I really praise God to for my family members, my mom, my dad, my sisters, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I really thank God for that. So yeah, I don't even know why I got to that topic, but I did. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Faustina says, I watched you a lot as a medical student. Right now, I'm a medical doctor and it's surreal, and I might just take the Plabex. Aww. Stop it. Oh, I'm so glad for you. Wow, you're already helping us with your videos without knowing. Aww. Somebody's cutting onions in this room because it's bringing tears to my eyes. Thank you. Concerning YouTube, does the live session also count as watch hours? Yes, it does. It actually does. It counts as watch hours. If you're trying to start a YouTube channel, this is a good way to, rack up your watch hours and probably get to that monetization threshold a bit quicker. Congratulations on your delivery. Thank you so much. Working from home, so I do childcare myself, which affects my efficiency, but it's better than childcare, and I'm getting a hang of it. Honestly, I get you. How many children do you have? Because that is also another thing that can affect your efficiency with childcare. Like, imagine having 2 toddlers that are like dragging you and taking your attention and everything. How are you going to manage it? Just how I mean. But like, even now, with what I said about trying to be consistent on like my social media and all of that, having 2 children really, 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 really messes with my brain, because I might, before I had children, I might have just decided like, okay, today is my filming day and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to finish everything I have to do by 4 p.m. Let's say that's what I wanted to do. Let's say that's what I wanted to do. Now that I have children, especially 2 children, because I found that it's a bit more difficult now. Tony is still breastfeeding and he feeds very frequently. Like, he feeds every 1.5 hours. That boy feeds every 1.5 hours. He's eating, like. And then Keaton is also there, also dragging for my attention. Now, I've already woke up with an initiative that I want, and that's the reason why I didn't even dress up for this live, because I just didn't get the time. I'm wearing my house clothes, I have my bonnet on my hair. I just didn't get the time to dress up because my attention is stretched, is split in how many million places. My husband needs my attention, my daughter needs my attention, my son needs my attention, YouTube needs my attention, Instagram needs my attention, TikTok needs my attention, work needs my attention. And that's the reason why I want to take a long maternity leave, so at least my brain can relax from work. Because I feel like I've never had a career break before. I actually want to just exist without being a doctor for a little period of time. So that's another reason why I'm also trying to take a little bit of a longer break. I just want to exist as a human being who is a mom and a content creator and a wife for just a few months and see how that looks for me. So I totally get that about the efficiency thing. I hope they're not complaining at work, because that's another thing that you have to consider. Like, your employers might start complaining that your efficiency isn't the best. And I even want to give you guys a little bit of a, when I first came back from maternity leave for my first child, obviously I was clueless because I had been away from work for a little while and I did not really remember how things were going. Also, because in England, patient safety is priority. Priority. I didn't want to make any mistakes because I'm not trying to be referred to the GMC. Do you understand what I mean? I'm not trying to be referred to the GMC. I don't want to make any stupid mistakes. I just want to do my job in a safe way. Now, doing that meant that I was a bit slower than other people at work. And my oga at work came to tell me that I wasn't very efficient. Do you understand what I mean? And I had to explain to them, like, oh, I hear what you're saying, but I wish you could also hear what I'm saying. I've just come back from maternity leave and I need a little bit of time to ease back into things. I'll try my best to be a bit more efficient, but I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not making any mistakes so that I'm not referred to the GMC. More importantly, any avoidable mistakes, because obviously you're a human being, you're going to make mistakes at some point, but the important thing is don't make mistakes that are serious. That's just the most important thing. And if you do make a mistake in England, again, it's very different from Nigeria. If you make a mistake in England, just own up to the mistake that you've made. Don't try to play hanky-panky. You'll probably get off a bit easier if you own up to the mistake that you made. But once you try to play hanky-panky and you are caught, then there's going to be a bigger issue. But long and short, I just apologized. I'm sorry that you think I'm not that efficient, because at some point I was even scared that this one that they've told me that they don't think I'm so efficient, will they extend my visa? Will they still want me in this hospital? But again, I just told them, fine, give me a few more weeks. Like, it's kind of like an audit. I want you to audit me over the next few weeks and see if you can notice any significant improvement in my work, in my efficiency, everything. And my clinical supervisor said, sure, I will pay attention over the next 6 weeks, over the next 2 months. Let's see how things are. So I tried my best to improve my speed, my speed and efficiency and all. And then afterwards, I sent them an email. I was just wondering if there has been any update, if you've noticed anything if you've noticed any improvement with my work. And then he said, yes, that he's noticed and other consultants have noticed and I should just keep that up. So I was like, fine, yeah. So when it was time to ask for my visa extension, I was a bit bold at ask for my visa extension, even though I wasn't so bold, because in my mind I thought this one that they've already mentioned to me once, that my efficiency was a bit subpar. I hope they're not going to now decide that that's enough grounds for them to not extend my visa. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but eventually they did, and I'm glad for that. But that's why I say I hope it's not affecting your efficiency to the point that your superiors are noticing, because that can be an issue. Hopefully it's not, but just like, try to balance everything out. I love your content so much. You inspire me to be a mom and a doctor too. Stop, you guys. You guys are making me blush. Stop. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really do appreciate you guys. I'm just trying to build a community. Do you know what I mean? That's really what I want to focus on doing, and that's the reason why I've decided to incorporate live videos into my content. So I personally want to try to go live every Saturday on YouTube. Hopefully I'm able to do that at the same time, 6 p.m. every Saturday, regardless of whether I look made up, I don't look made up. I want it to just be a chill session where there's no pressures of light, camera, action, and I want us to use this opportunity to just like get to know each other, build a relationship, build a community, feel like we're all part of one big family, and it's not just like you looking at me on the screen. Like, hear your thoughts, hear your opinions, see how we can improve the channel. Because my primary goal for this next couple of months is to improve the channel significantly, to the point that I feel like we're a community. I feel like you guys love me, you guys appreciate me, and I want you to also feel that I love you and I appreciate you, which is why I was asking earlier that what can I help you guys with? Is there any type of content I can make that can help you guys, that can be beneficial to you apart from just entertaining you, which was what you guys initially wanted with the vlogs. Just like, and I feel like the vlogs provide entertainment, but I also want them to also provide some form of education as well, or some form of help, you know. And it's not just like you wasting your time looking at me. Do you understand what I mean? Because time is precious, and everybody has quote unquote more important things that they could be doing with their time, rather than looking at a random stranger on the internet. But thank you so much. I really do appreciate everything. I really do appreciate that. Rashida, I really do. So yeah, do you guys have any other questions that you guys wanted us to touch on? I hope I've not been rambling too much, because I feel like I've just been yapping on non-stop for like the past couple minutes. Oh, I didn't tell you guys. So I'm going on my first post-baby holiday. It's like a weekend holiday without the baby, without Keaton, without my husband. And I'm going very soon. So like in a week or two, I'm gonna go. And I'm so excited about that, because I just get the chance to be me. Like, I'm just gonna get the chance to be Oinko. I don't have to think about cooking. I don't have to think about cleaning. I don't have to be thinking about changing diapers. I don't have to think. I will just exist as Oinko. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I am going with my friend for her birthday. She's turning 30, and it's kind of like a girls' trip, kind of. So we're going to be probably about 6 or so on this trip, and I'm looking forward to it so much. Like, that is the highlight of my next couple of weeks, because I'm going to sleep on my bed by myself without anybody. I don't have to cook. I don't have to clean. I'm just going to exist as Oyinka, and I'm so happy. Please vlog the post baby holiday. Definitely. I'm going to do that. Are you going to be pumping? Yes, I'm going to be pumping. I'm going to carry my baby pump, my breast pump along, because if I don't carry my breast pump, that's a recipe for disaster. I'm going to pump before I leave, just so that Tony can have some milk. But he's not exclusively breastfed. Maybe I should say that. He is mostly breastfed, but not exclusively. So, like this week, he's probably had formula twice. And today is Saturday. And he's only had formula twice this week. The times he has formula is if maybe I'm busy and I want to complete that task that I'm doing, because you know, when you're doing something and you don't complete the task and you break it and do something else, to go back to that thing then becomes a bit harder. So if I want to just complete the task that I'm doing, then I ask my sister or maybe Tolu to give him a bottle. But that doesn't happen very frequently. So now I'm going to express some breast milk, keep it in the freezer, so that if he needs some over the next couple of days, he can have some. If it's not enough, we have some formula in the house, he can have the formula as well. And when I go on my trip, I'm going to have to pump and dump at least twice a day, or even 3 times a day. I just know that I'm going to have to pump and dump, because obviously I'm going to have engorgement if I don't, and that can potentially cause like mastitis, breast infection, all those things. I don't want to go down that line. So I'm just going to... Have you guys like experienced heavy, like full breasts from breast milk issues before? It's very painful. It's very painful, and if you're not able to let that breast milk out, it can be a source of infection, you know, and I don't want to be infected. So yeah, for sure, I'm going to be pumping. I'll just be throwing it away. Anyways, you need the rest and relaxation. I really do. See, my eye bags are getting bigger. I'm not trying to be an old woman. I'm young. Get up here. Let's dance. Let's dance. Do you know, and I also want to lose a lot of weight as well. I want to lose a lot of weight. I want to be young. I want to be free. I want to be, you know. Anyways. You know, I mentioned when I gave birth to Tony that I wanted to lose 40 kilos. I don't know if you guys watched that vlog, but I did. I mentioned when I gave birth to Tony in the hospital that I wanted to lose 40 kgs. Right now, I want you guys to guess how many kgs I've lost. Bearing in mind, look at my face compared to when I gave birth, obviously, or even compared to my last video. The first couple of scenes in my last video, I'm sure that you could tell how puffy my face was. Now look at my face, it's a bit leaner compared to then. Can you guess how many kgs I've lost out of my goal of 40 kg? Just try and guess. Yes, Kai, you got it. I've lost 20 kg already. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I still have a bit more to lose, obviously, but like, first of all, the fact that I can even fit back into my pre-pregnancy clothes, amazing. I didn't have to buy any new clothes. I can fit back into my pre-pregnancy clothes. I'm trying to get back to my university size, which was a size 12. That's my aim, trying to get back to size 12. And for me to be size 12, because I am quite tall actually. I don't know if you guys know, but I want to say I'm 5'10". I'm about 5'10", thereabouts. So for me to be size 12, I would need to be weighing between like 72 to like 76 kgs, thereabouts. That is like my range, or maybe even up to 78 kgs, between like 72 78, thereabouts. That's what I was weighing my university. That's what I was weighing on my wedding day. I was around that size. My I feel like that was my best size. Although my husband thinks he likes me a bit chunkier, but honestly, I don't want to be chunky. I don't want to be chunky. I want to be a bit more slender, and I think size 12 is a little bit slender for me, especially again bearing in mind my height. A little bit slender for me, but also not too slender to the point that I'm looking very skinny, because my skinniest size was, I think, size 8/10, and I was very slim. I was weighing about 62 kgs or so. That was the first time I ever went on a weight loss journey, and I was about 21, 22, thereabouts. That was my first ever weight loss journey that I actually took seriously, and I dropped to about, my starting weight at the time was like 80 kg or so, and I dropped to like 62 kg. I was so slim. Everybody was like, what's happening? But yeah, and slowly from there, the weight has come back. Then I was on like 70, size 12 weight for like a long time, until I got married and my husband started making me eat random shit. Because let me tell you something, if you're married or you have a man in your life, don't ever copy that man with your eating habits. Men can get away with eating a lot and they wouldn't pack on the weight the way you would pack on the weight, which is something that I've learned the hard way, clearly. But yeah, are you dieting or working out? I'm doing very light workouts. I'm just 7 weeks postpartum. I'm not supposed to be doing anything too much, so I take walks. I walk from 30 minutes to an hour a day, thereabouts, or I do home workouts. Glow with Joe, Jane Fonda, or dance workouts. That's the type of workouts I do. I am not dieting, but I am doing portion control. So I don't eat a lot of oils. So things like egusi soup, not really my go-to. I would have like vegetable soup that I didn't cook with oil, or okra soup that I didn't cook with oil. If I wanted to cook like fried rice or something that needed oil, I would measure the oil. So I have measuring cups, measuring spoons, measure the oil, 1 tablespoon of oil for the meal that I'm gonna cook. And that would be, so that 1 tablespoon of oil, depending on how many times I want to eat that meal. If I'm gonna eat it a couple times, 1 tablespoon of oil. If it's just one meal, then 1 teaspoon of oil, or even half. But basically, I'm trying to stay away from oils as much. I don't want to be eating too much oils. And to be frankly, oils are not even that good for you like that. And another thing I do, again, like I mentioned, I have measuring cups, so I measure my food. And I have a food scale as well, so I measure my food. I eat maximum 1 cup of carbohydrates, maximum. So like if it's rice, maximum 1 cup, sometimes half cup. If it's yam, maximum 2 medium slices, sometimes one. If it's bread, maximum 2 slices. What else do Nigerians eat? So yeah, that's basically the way I've just been doing, just being a bit more mindful about what I'm eating, so that I'm not, another thing, I'm not snacking on like drinks, you know, because drinks have a lot of empty calories and you just end up drinking a lot of calories without knowing that. So I drink a lot of water. The thing I've done to help with my cravings for like things that are a bit sweeter is to make smoothies. So my current favorite smoothie is watermelon and mango. It's delicious. You should try it. Watermelon and mango is so delicious. That helps. And then I add sparkling water to that smoothie, so that sparkling, obviously because sparkling water is carbonated, so it gives it a bit of a kick, and then you feel like you're drinking Coke, you know, because it has that fizz. Sparkling water, it has that fizz. Add some ice to it and you've made yourself a nice drink that has satisfied the sugar cravings, but has also, you know, my battery is about to die. I'm so sorry. I just realized I didn't actually charge my phone before I came on this live, but I hope that answers your question, Kai. Thank you so much. Rick says I can lose 20 kgs just by taking a massive dump. Lol, that's hilarious. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining this live. We've been on here for 47 minutes, 30 seconds, and it doesn't even feel that long. It really doesn't. But yeah, thank you so much. Do you know what? Please put it in your calendar that on Saturdays by 6 p.m. we're going to be going live, just in case you guys want to come on here to chat with me or whatever. That would be lovely. I'd really love to have you over here. So over the next couple weeks, we're going to be making our usual vlogs, and we're also going to be making the femininity, personal finance type content, and we're going to reevaluate and see how that goes. You guys are going to audit me, tell me what you think, give me like feedback, all that type of jazz, and then we'll see how we can like grow the community, grow the channel, you know, all that jazz, to the point that we are moving on the same frequency. Thank you so much, and see you next Saturday. Love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me. I do not take you for granted at all. Bye. Have a lovely rest of your day and see you next week. Bye.